Okay, so here goes. Update number 4, and I've got homeboy here who's really seriously unwell still. He seemed to perk up. He has one day good, then he goes down with the fever again. It's something that I learned that illness is as much a part of life. It's not even illness. It's just imbalance or the body kind of recorrecting itself, if you like, particularly with fevers. And I ended up coming down with the typhoid, but what I didn't know at the time and found out afterwards, I can assure you, having typhoid and being laid up for 6 weeks with a delirious fever wasn't a whole bunch of fun. But I just had no. People keep saying, "Oh, you're so brave. You're so brave. You're so." I don't really consider it brave at all. It just none of what I was being offered made any sense. Reduce the temperature. Why reduce the temperature? It goes down, it shoots back up again. You feel rotten. So just keep the temperature. Float in and out, ride it out. And, I actually discovered after the typhoid was, after I was up and about, even though the head consultant at East Surrey Hospital told me I was definitely going to die and there would be nothing she could do to save me, that cancer cells actually start to fizz and wig out when you get above 40 degrees. And then I found out that folks go to Germany to some special clinic and they pay a whole heap of money to have like a prolonged fever induced. I got mine for free. Thank you, Bombay. It's crazy. We again another example of what seemed like a catastrophe or just seemed like too much. Like the old adage, we never get given more than we could handle. At the time, that felt like that was more than I could handle. I was passing up on a really amazing. Well, not passing up on it, passing out on it more like because I just couldn't do it. But the contract that I had in Bombay was really good, best one I've ever had. One day fully present on site, and then down like a sack of spuds, and 7 days deliriousness in my supposed luxury. Well, it was a luxury apartment, but it was more like a luxury hell to me. What else? Yeah, just I wanted to just touch upon sort of vulnerability. I ended up being inadvertently very vulnerable today in front of a bunch of people. I've spoken in 12-step rooms for, I don't really know, over 30 years or something like that. I've never broke down in a meeting, and I broke down today in a way that I haven't cried like that since the Andy Garcia movie, When a Man Loves a Woman, which was an inordinately long time ago, so long ago that probably nobody listening to this even remembers it. But the last time I cried like that was, it was at the end of the movie when Meg Ryan, I think it is speaking, and she's doing her year anniversary, and she's saying the only thing she really regrets is that she lost her husband, and then he stands up at the back of the room, and I was just, God, I was really sobbing, and then the lights all came on, which wasn't the deal. I didn't want to be sat in the Odeon on the seafront in Brighton with sobbing my heart out and snot and tears and shoulders going up and down like Ted Heath having a chuckle. And it was the same today. I couldn't speak. I had to be just, every time I went to open my mouth, it was just, it all came out again. But it just felt wonderful. It felt really lovely. It felt like, it just felt really freeing to be able to be just authentic and not to have to say sorry. That was the best part about it. Normally it's a terribly British thing to do. Oh, God, I'm terribly sorry. Sorry, I'm having an emotional moment. Pass the scones. Anyway, there was none of that. It was just rawness, and I felt really blessed that I was able to just go there. And it wasn't tears or anything else other than just pure gratitude for the people in my life and the people that I have that I have connectivity with, and connectivity. Sounds like something that 5G would be after, but connectedness with people is a beautiful thing, and that and boundaries, I think, is really powerful. If you listen to Dr. Gabor Mate, he talks about the the type of character that is really sort of vulnerable to going down with some sort of cancer or other, and there's those characters that just don't look after themselves. And I was always of that ilk. I was the first one on the site. I was the last one to leave. I would do the grotty jobs of just sort of anything that needed heft, and anything that needed carrying, anything arduous. Yeah, I'd be doing that. I'd be first in the ring for that. And it's just crazy, particularly as my sort of advanced years came on, and still carried on trying to do it. And I don't feel like that today. I feel like my boundaries are much better than they've ever been, and that's really, really important. Brené Brown was really, again, the lovely Brené Brown was really instrumental for me in that. And she said that when she learned to have boundaries, some people regarded her as less sweet than she used to be, but she had more love to give because she wasn't frittering it away by just sort of having herself walked all over, or that's implying that it's other people's fault. Like the drowning man syndrome. If you try to save someone who doesn't know how to swim and isn't too keen on being afloat, they'll just take you down, and it's not their fault. It's just how it is. So that's a great thing to do. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was how on this journey, what I spoke about today actually, about self-love, which is always something that made me feel like I want to retch. And self-love is really just small acts of self-care. And if you I like life to be kind of binary, black or white, and do or don't, and simple. And generally speaking, if something feels good, then it's time to do a bit more. If something doesn't feel good, then just back away. If it resonates with my soul, it will feel good to do it, to partake. And so I really see it as like, we have opportunity for a series of small acts of self-love, doing the right thing by ourselves, or we have the opportunity for small acts of self-sabotage, doing the wrong thing by ourselves, saying yes when we mean no, saying no when we mean yes, and eating that donut when we really know we probably should be eating the apple, having that extra cup of coffee at 10. I don't have any cups of coffee, but when you have a cup of coffee at 10 o'clock at night, and it's going to send you into a bit of a spin, and you'll still be sat there chundering at 1 o'clock in the morning, scrolling through Facebook feeds you don't really want to be scrolling through, or even that, just endlessly scrolling through feeds, just waiting for that next sort of dopamine kind of hit, that gets lesser and lesser and lesser as the evening goes on. But yeah, I think that I really like that. I like to just leave it on that note of self-love is just small acts of repeated acts of self-care over and over and over and over. And if we're tempted not to act lovingly towards ourselves, just to know that it's a small act of self-sabotage. And it doesn't mean that we need to become intrinsically more and more self-centered. It just means that we really do need to learn. I really need to learn to take care of myself first. Then I can be there for him. Then I can be there for other people. And I really love it. I love being able to be there for other people. It's joyous as long as I'm taking care of myself. If I'm not taking care of myself, then I get resentful, and it all turns to shit. And it doesn't work like that. I don't know how this is going to upload, because the 3 signal is shit. You can't get through to 3 to explain to them the 3 signal is shit, and the Wi-Fi here is also shit. But who cares? I'd rather have trees than Wi-Fi. But I'll make the effort. This will be uploaded tonight, even if I have to go for a drive like I did last night to try and get a better signal somewhere. to make sure it's up. But a commitment is a commitment, and I'm going to do this every day for the foreseeable. So, take it, throw it away, scroll straight past if you don't like it or if you don't care. Or if you haven't got the time, I don't feel a way. If one person gets something out of this, then it's achieved its purpose. And so far, that one person is me. I'm having a ball doing this, and it's great to be reminded, reconnected with a lot of the stuff that happened along the journey. Because as you could imagine, a lot of the ways along this journey, I have very little memory of, particularly the Typhoid Mary days when I could lie in the bed when I had typhoid, looking at a bottle of water and really wanted to drink it, and it would take me an hour to muster the will to be able to reach out and get the bottle of water, because everything just seemed an ordeal, and I was just literally there drifting in and out of consciousness. And it's really not like that today. I had a really amazing and really full day, and yeah, it's just get down to it and have really. I would really earnestly implore the one man and a chihuahua that's watching this video to just look at that small acts of self-love, and if we're not acting lovingly in those small acts, then they become small acts of self-sabotage. Stay peaced. Good night.